It's astounding. Wow.
So, Eliana, I know you've not got along. We've just got a quick 10 minutes to have a quick chat, but I wanted to introduce you to the group, and you so kindly have got a Zoom Pro, so we're using your Zoom to come into the group. But just tell the group a little bit about you. We have known each other, I can't believe this, 10 years. We've never met, nearly met in Mallorca once, but we haven't done. But just tell the group a little bit about who you are and what you're doing, and then we can tell them your exciting news as well.
I would love for you, well, okay. I don't feel like speaking about myself this morning.
Oh, you've got to know a little bit about you.
I would love to know what your perception is. That's what's really interesting. Because what I'll just say is, if you have, if you find yourself in the midst of this pandemic, and if before you were in the midst of change and you didn't know what was next, and what am I going to do with the rest of my life, and is it too late, or I've got something inside of me that is speaking so clearly, but I have no words for it, and what do I do next? And how do I use this time such that I'm showing up, and I don't know what's next, but I want to come out of this in a place that's better than I was before, but how? And can I? Am I nuts? And can I trust whatever is guiding me inside that I have no words for? That's how I have lived my life and worked for the last 30 years. We're talking from Yuppie on the Spiritual Path in Los Angeles, leaving the United States in 1991 for France, where I became a broadcaster for CBS. So if you watched the Olympics in 1992, you heard my voice. But during those Olympics, I prayed to use my voice for a higher purpose. Voices of Eden is the result. It's called Voices of Eden because it's a living experiment of creating Eden on earth, one authentic voice at a time. And I moved to Israel from France in 1991. Same thing. What? Is this something inside that guides you? And what you're seeing in the background here is my hometown of Kiryat Tivon.
Wow.
I've devoted my life and my career and my profession to the resurgence of an ancient feminine leadership and healing sound way that was practiced in the Near East of pre-biblical times. I am a person who has dared follow this inner guidance, inclusive of this morning. It never ends. But when it all seems like caca, and you don't know what's next, and you don't have the confidence to move forward, and you don't know how to choose, then there are two ways. You could go the safe route where it'll, where at least you know that, or you could go the route where you don't know that it could get worse. You have no guarantees. But when you choose that route, it takes you towards something, towards what you don't know. But that's where I have found over a 30-year period the magic, the research on this, and I'm not a doctor. And it's what I show up to each day ever so imperfectly as a human being. And it brings wonderful, wonderful things.
And that's why you're here, really, because that's what we wanted to tell the group about. Because I know that there's so many members of our group who at the minute, like you said, are dealing with COVID. They don't know what's going on in their lives. They've lost the confidence to be intuitively led. And you're offering them an absolutely fabulous concept and idea, because you've been there, you've done it. And you were telling me when we spoke the other day that, we were talking about COVID as a war. And you know about war, you've been there, and you know where that has led you. So talk about a little bit about that to the group as well.
So I moved to Israel in 1994 from France with an inner guidance that said, move to Galilee, move to Israel, you'll settle in Galilee, you'll found a special center where there'll be very special music that combines east-west computers. It'll be in a green place where you see blue. Focus will be over the seas, and I had no idea what that meant. It took me 12 years to even be able to enunciate something like that. And then, lo and behold, 2000 comes the Mideast crisis, and I find myself in the middle of a war. And I asked, what's my response? It took me to a neonatal intensive care unit in a hospital in my area that serves a 50-50 Israeli-Palestinian neonatal intensive care unit, 50-50 Israeli-Palestinian population. And it's like when you listen to that, sometimes necessity and everything falling apart is the mother of invention. It ends up that the chief physician needed research to move forward. They didn't, like a NICU in the best of circumstances is stressful. In wartime, it's ballistic. And this hospital serves, both of the populations. And I figured if I'm full of caca, nothing will pan out, it won't work, and I'll go back to the States and I won't ask any more questions. And if it does, then it'll take us one step forward. And just by walking that path, it resulted in a 3-year fully funded, that was my salary for 3 years. And I had never done it before. And when we went back and I looked at what did I do consistently every week, then I built a model upon that. And I've been teaching that and working with that ever since. Since 2004. I started
Amazing.
online 2006. 2006, the war came in upper northern Israel. Everybody ran. I go, where am I running to? It's like, it's all great when things are fine, but if I'm going to run away, I'm still going to be with my war inside. And that was very, very empowering. That's when the book Towards Miriam's Secret came, Quiet in the Eye of the Storm, Living Peace in a War Zone. And I felt so well used because, and today I'm feeling very well used again. And then there was the Gaza war, like wars are us. I lived through wars and displacement. And if I can show up and find my clarity and my confidence and thrive, so can you. It's not thrive, la-di-da, comfort. And if you're going to wait until you feel comfortable, you're going down with the Titanic, because that's not how it works. But if you are really ready to move forward and you do know that you've got your gifts to share what you do, that's why you're alive. And wisdom, this whole way that came about, and the research was just that really for me it was a marketing ploy. I don't mean to put myself down, but how do you prove something that's 5,000 years old that wasn't written down?
Yeah.
But in the modern world, we need to hold on to something. And that's why I thought if I'm full of shit, well, then it'll pan out and I won't ask any more questions. I'll go back to the States and live my, usual life. But I feel really, really, really grateful to have walked this walk and continue to walk this walk now in the pandemic. I think we have such a beautiful opportunity now this is really the time to be focusing on what really is true for you. And it's a birth that's happening, and birth is messy. It's the contraction phase of birth. It's bloody, it's messy. You don't know what's going on. It's, you hit the wall. You don't know whether you're going to live or die. And seizing that feminine power of life that we have, been disconnected from, reconnecting to it enables, and what this way is, it's how to thrive in the cracks of life. It's a means by which you can discover and embrace and connect to the part and that voice within you that it's another paradigm. There's no cognitive voice to it because it's another paradigm, but then connecting it to the cognitive so that you can cognitively express yourself in the world. You are an instrument, and imagine what this world is as each one of us dares to stop long enough to connect to it and listen and hear and
play it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and act.
And I know you've got to go off to another call. So we're just so grateful that we managed to scrape 10 minutes with you. I know that you've an offer for the ladies at the end of this month. You've got a really interesting and exciting course starting.
Oh, hello,
We've
Megan.
got Megan joining us.
Oh,
Megan is joining us. Well, I love it.
wait a second.
She says, "Where am I? What am I
Kay,
doing?"
now here is Feminine Power we're in the midst of Kay and I met 10 years ago. Kay Newton is an amazing feminine leader, and she has, I'll send you the link to her group. They're an amazing group of women.
And then you can come and join us too.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll all join together, and I'm just finishing with Kay, and then I will, but you're welcome. One, stay. See,
Well, it's so fun. It's great to be with you both. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just need to actually tend to some little baby chicks, so I can leave the meeting and then come back in about 10 minutes.
Oh,
You want me to do that?
let's say I'm looking at my commitments afterwards. Let's say in
5 minutes?
5 minutes. How is that, Kay? How are you? Look
That's
at this.
fantastic.
I mean, ladies, this is just so fun.
We love it.
It's
This is the
so
beauty.
fun.
It is so fun.
Yeah.
Megan, where are you in the world?
I'm in Washington State.
Woohoo! This world is just so small, isn't it amazing? I love it.
Yes, I love it
Megan is an
too.
amazingly plugged in woman, Kay. You'll really enjoy. You'll really enjoy.
Thank you. I look forward to spending more time with you, Kay.
That would be fantastic, Megan. I'd love that too.
Yeah, thank you. And I will see you later, and I'll see you, Eliana, in 5-ish.
Cool.
Okay. Bye, ladies.
Bye. I love it.
That's
So
amazing. I
ladies,
love it.
so ladies in the was that cool or what? God bless technology. You know, I guess the waiting room is off. So, but that is a really good example of living life in the flow. And what were you starting to say?
I was just saying that, you know, we've connected mainly because you've got such an amazing offer for women to do with coming out of COVID and connecting to self and everything. And that really what we wanted to do was offer it to the women in the group. And so if you want to see if you've got a couple more minutes now, Megan's coming back in a bit, just tell the group, and then what we'll do is underneath this thread, we'll stick the link for them so that they can find it easily, all the info.
Oh, sure. So what what Kay is referring to is a prosper in the pandemic with your feminine power and emerge triumphant.
Wow.
It's a 6-week training that is for somebody who is ready to emerge from the pandemic thriving. And it's through a course that teaches you how to embrace uncertainty, navigate the rapids, and propel you forward in times of unprecedented change, not just now, but what will happen afterwards as well, leaving you better off and poised for prosperity, poised for success. I'm not talking about la-di-da, no. Just like what you experienced now. When Megan came on, and just living life in flow. It's for women who are asking the question, what am I going to do when this is all over? Or if you wonder how you can remain grounded when anxiety tries to knock you off your center, or you're watching other people who seem to be able to show up or move ahead when the entire world has come to a halting stop. And like I said before, and you're asking yourself the question, how do I spend my time now, such that I end up on the other end really thriving. So, and ready to share your voice with the world, because this really, really is a time, and we wise women, you know, we of that certain age are a pioneer group of women who are meant to be giving of our gifts. We have broken through barriers. Think of what you've gone through in your lifetime. You have broken through so many barriers, and it's time to do that again. So imagine engaging with life, with your clients, if you've got a business, or if you're wanting to have a business that empowers and enriches you, enriches everybody who you touch, and that you're fully expressed and you support others to connect to their authentic power, to their authentic voice. It's just so satisfying. And I'm going to be, whoever is in this course is going to end up certified as well to be able to teach this, so that you can add additional income to your existing, if you've got a healing practice or you're a coach, or want to go in that direction. There really is an untapped source of strength and resourcefulness that is deep within your well of wisdom. And this course is intended to support you in accessing it now and expressing it outwards in such a way that
Awesome.
you and
Fantastic.
everyone else benefits.
Yeah. So we're going to love you and leave you. We're going to say thank you so much for coming by and offering this to the group. And I'll make sure that the link's put in below the recording once the recording's finished. And Eliana, you and I know we'll talk again soon. And I wish you all the best and all the love. And thank you for coming by.
Thank you. Thank you for your very, very important presence and beautiful beingness in this world and everything that you bring for us. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll let you stop the recording, and then we can.
It's not you. All right.
You've got to find out of me.
Like, yeah, and if technology freaks you out, poster child, and it still works. Let's see. I can't even find where it is now. Just a sec. Oh, here, recording. Oops. Right. Bye.
Bye.